but I know that ain't true. When the world gets the worst of me, I'm still my best with you. We don't stare into the ocean, we just dive into the blue. They say the best days are yet to come, but I know that ain't true. Oh, love and living in it. But I know that ain't true. When the world gets the worst of me, I'm still my best with you. We don't stare into the ocean, we just dive into the blue. They say the best days are yet to come, but I know that ain't true. Oh, love and living in it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Hollis. I'm the Director of Next Step Up programs at Step Up, and I'm honored to welcome you to build your personal brand featuring PepsiCo. We're really excited to have you here today. So I want to thank all of the young adults and the mentors who have logged on with us this morning, depending on where you are, afternoon. I'd like to recognize everyone who might be here for the experiencing Step Up for the first time. So welcome. And if you could tell us in the chat box at the bottom of your screen where you're from, we really look forward to getting to know you today. Before we officially get started, I want to just give a second to give us some really quick friendly reminders. First, we'd love to ask that everyone who's able to, if you could please turn on your camera. Even though we're not physically in person, we really like to create that feeling, and it supports us in creating an intimate and safe and brave space for everybody. Second, want to let you know that everybody's mics will be on mute until we go into our breakout sections. Okay, I see Connecticut in the building. Hello. New York, I'm just seeing where folks are logging in from. So just reminding everybody, your mics will be on mute until you go into the breakout rooms. Oh, Baltimore, my sister's from Baltimore. Hey, Baltimore. And then this piece is really, really important. We're gonna ask that everybody please take a second to adjust your display name. So you want your display name to say your first name and then your role today. So your role is either you're a staff member of Step Up, or you're a young woman joining us, or you're a mentor. So if you could add that and then your pronoun. So you can see mine says Hollis, staff, she. If you would do that, that'll support us in making sure as best we can that the breakout rooms are even. And then finally, if you need support with anything today, if you get kicked out the Zoom, if you can't get yourself off mute, if something strange happens, please, 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 you can take a second, and throughout the day, you're going to reach out to Elle. So you'll see that on the bottom of your screen, when you go to the chat box, she's Elle, staff, she in the chat. So those are just some reminders that we have for you today. And now I'd like to introduce our champion Step Up supporter at PepsiCo, April Carr. April is the Director of Innovation and Design at PepsiCo and is super excited to share more. So please give her a warm, warm welcome.
Awesome. Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning for those that are joining us from the West Coast. Extremely excited to have you join our PepsiCo Part 2 of our series where we're partnering with Step Up to make sure that we're able to share some insights around branding, right? PepsiCo has had a long-standing partnership with Step Up, and it's been an organic one based on just a love for developing and growing together. So with that being said, we had our first series that was all about, so you want to work for an iconic brand like PepsiCo, and we kicked that off with some really great PepsiCo branding, some new products that were completely innovative and exciting. And today we get to go into part two, where we have the opportunity for you to dig in and explore a little bit more about yourself and how you show up as your best self in all things. And so we're extremely excited about the opportunity to work with you. Special thank you to my mentors that are out there, special guests, and of course, all of our Step Up family. And I'll go ahead and do a really quick intro before we get into the video that's next, so that you understand and know the speaker that we have joining us right after that. We have a very special speaker, Jeff Johnson, that'll be joining us. He's the Senior Director of Human Resources for PepsiCo, that's supporting both our finance and our human resources functions. He's been with PepsiCo for 16 years, working with Frito-Lay for the last 14 of those. And he has over 25 years of experience in talent, in org development, and into the training space across a plethora of different organizations and also different functions. So please feel free to lean into all of us that are here. We're here to support and love on you, and enjoy the rest of the program.
As babies born into this world, life as we knew it was uncertain, unfocused, as well as full of life, ambition, and unlocked potential. And today, through our eyes and moments of reflection, we see the women of PepsiCo. It started with taking that first step. We were once eager, whimsical, bright-eyed little girls who imagined a big yet endless world of possibilities waiting for us to conquer as we embarked onto the road to adulthood. Some of us running head-on into the art of the possible, while others of us quietly dreamed. As women of color taught responsibility, perseverance, and dedication to get results, either directly or through lessons of life, it made us stronger and wiser. Did we question ourselves along the way? Absolutely. But something, our drive, our family, a good friend, our faith, our skill, or the voice within us said, onward. Today, we are daughters, sisters, sorors, mothers, wives, aunts, caregivers, buyers, travelers, leaders, influencers, mentees, mentors. We are partners who can and will stand boldly, inspire, and lead PepsiCo into a new realm of greatness. Our Women of Color Multicultural Alliance is on a mission to assist PepsiCo in identifying strategies to increase representation of women of color and provide meaningful career development opportunities for WOC worldwide. And we want you to join us. We are a sisterhood committed to supporting each other, making connections, and building relationships across our organization to grow and celebrate our success together as one PepsiCo. Together, we make an alliance to be each other's keeper and invoke what lies within each of us to manifest as our very best selves. Our marketplace demographics are shifting, and we are the intrinsic knowledge owners that can truly unlock the understanding necessary to reach these growing customers. We are them, and they are us. We are you, and you are us. We are the Women of Color Alliance. We are Frito-Lay. We are PepsiCo. We are one. What's your next move?
All right, so I think I'm up. That's the first time I've seen that video. I love that. So thank you for letting me jump on early and see that as well. I look forward to being with everybody today and Step Up. Thank you, April, for the 25 years. That just means I'm old. That's all that really means. Just done a lot of stuff. I also like to identify as a dad of a daughter, 17-year-old daughter this year. She popped her head in earlier. She saw the presentation I'm doing. She's like, "Oh, Dad, you doing that one, kid?" So as I guess I am. That's just what I'm doing. This is what how I'm going to spend my next 15 minutes. So I'm thankful. Is the presentation showing? Coming up now. All right. So as it's pulling up, a couple things about this. Last time you were here talking about the iconic brands of PepsiCo, this is on a personal level. Of all the things that I've been around and taught and interact with my career, this is probably the one that I get asked to do the most. It's usually about an hour, so you're going to get the best of in 15 minutes. But it is designed to help people think about how they show up, how other people might see them. There's the me that I see, and there's the me that everybody else sees. So, they're not always one and the same. So let's talk a little bit about that. Next slide, please. All right, there you go, perfect. When I think about buzz, your personal brand, your buzz, I think about it in the context of how you are trying to show up to influence others or a situation. And when I think about influence, I think about it how self-aware people are. I think about how credible they are seen. I think about this notion of job to be done. What it is you're hired to do? But in the context of our time today, it's what is your buzz? How do people think about you when your name pops up on their radar? What do they think? What are the adjectives they would use to describe you? So that's how we're going to go after this today. So before we hit the next slide, when you think what is your buzz, I want you to just stop and quickly go, all right, my buzz means what? All right, you got it? Next slide, please. Here's how I define it. Doesn't make it right. This is just how I define it for the purposes of today. First thing I think buzz is what people say about you when you are in or out of the room. When your name comes up, what are the adjectives they use to describe you? Think about the three things that are underneath this first bullet. Can you believe she? What's it like taking a class from? How should I prep with my meeting with? As soon as somebody answers those questions, we're creating buzz about them. Okay, we're saying something about them that's from our perspective. It creates and perpetuates a buzz or a personal brand. But I also think it's the second one. It's the energy that you bring when you are around other people. How do they feel when they are in your presence? Do they feel engaged? Do they feel bored? Do they feel enlightened? Do they feel let down? Do they feel challenged? Do they feel frustrated? One of the things we talk about in PepsiCo is back when we used to be in a meeting, not all Zoom, but we would be physically in the same room. When that person would walk in the room and there's this collective like, oh man, because you knew the energy was just going to be different because they were here. And then conversely, there's the people, oh, so-and-so's here. It's going to be a great meeting. It's like their buzz precedes them. As soon as they walk into the room, their buzz has already gotten there, right? And you just kind of know what kind of meeting it's going to be based upon some of that buzz. The third item that I think plays into what buzz is what you get invited to participate in or not. Like, what projects are you invited to participate in? What are the things you get invited to do? What are the things you get left out of? You know, the more we understand those things, the more we understand our buzz. Make sense? I'm hoping I see some nods, some yeses, some no's. We get it? All right. Now, let's dig in a little bit more, though, on how you might know what your buzz is. Let me start first on the image on the right. I said it a little bit in my intro. There's the you that you know, and there's the you that everybody else sees. The intersection of that is the personal brand. Now, I might think I'm self-aware and I might know how I show up, but I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again, because other people will always come out and give you a different view, a different lens. But here are some things to think about when you think about what your buzz is and how you might know. First, who is in your network? You've probably heard it before. We all need a personal board of directors. So who in your world makes up that personal board of directors? Who's in your network? What feedback, if you're listening, what feedback do you get from them? And maybe the most important part of this first bullet is who's going to tell you the truth. I might have a large network, but it doesn't mean people are going to tell me the truth. I need my truth tellers. I need my people who are really going to lay it out and say, this is what you need to know, Jeff. Now that's hard because some people don't like to hurt your feelings. So they may spare your feelings, but not really tell you what you need to really hear. Part of that is, do you make it easy for people to tell you the truth? Because if I give you the truth and you're not comfortable handling it, I may not tell you the truth the next time. But network. What feedback do you get? Who's telling you the truth? That's number one. Number two, what are you known for? You know, your teachers, your mentors, your sponsors, the people who are in your network, what do they call you out for? What are you known for? Social media, we all have it, maybe more than others, some more than others. But what is your social media accounts? When you think about that, you know employers are looking. You know they're going to put your name out there and Google it, and they're going to see what kind of social media account you have and what it says about you. So what does your social media say about you? And when people respond, what are they responding to? What are they saying? Okay, last point on this. When you are talking, what do people do? Do they take notes? Do they text? You know, they're on the phone. They're texting, not really paying attention. Are they, this is my favorite, are they giving you the auto nod? They look like they're paying attention. It looks like, because they're nodding. That must mean they agree with me. You don't know what they're thinking, but they're giving you the auto nod. So like, what are they doing? Are they asking questions? Are they engaged? So here are 4 things to think about as you're thinking about what your buzz might be. I'm sure some of the mentors and sponsors who are on this call could chat a few extras that are in here, but thought this might be a good starting point for what your buzz might be and how you might know. Okay. All right. Let's talk about how you create, manage, or change your buzz. So a couple of thoughts here. One is, I think you have to keep your eyes and your ears open. The ultimate point here is you can't live in a vacuum. You can't live with your head down. You got to really be thinking holistically. You got to be thinking wide panoramic view. And I think the other main point before I get into the bullets is you got to think about how do you meet people where they are. Okay. I can't take it from my lens all the time. I got to think about who my audience is. I got to think about what's important to them, and I got to try to meet them where they are. Where I started was, you know, it's about influence and how you can influence other people. If you don't know who's sitting across the table from you, it's a much harder angle to take. Okay. Now, how do you create, manage, or change your buzz? First things first, I think most everything, beautiful and ugly, starts with self-awareness. How self-aware are you? Okay, I can talk myself into, and I can use my self-talk to talk myself into being the best thing ever. And then I can also talk myself into being, oh, you're awful. You are horrible on that presentation. So self-awareness is about knowing how you talk yourself up or talk yourself down and being tuned into that, okay, and how it's influencing that. As being self-aware, do you have blinders on? Am I only looking at one way at something? Or am I taking that panoramic view and really thinking about what's possible and what else is going on that might give me a different lens to something? Okay. Do you know what engages you or sets you off? Because if you know what your pain points are and you know what your triggers are, then you know what you're going to react to as well. And how you react becomes part of your personal buzz. Okay. If I react negatively to something because it hit a trigger point, people are going to respond to that. People are going to react to that. Did you see how she did this? Did you see how she, talked about this? Did you see how she got upset when such and such? It's being aware of those things. Last item on this first bullet, how and where does the best version of yourself show up? We talk in PepsiCo about bringing your whole self to the work. I love that. I really love the notion of your whole self. There's parts of me people don't need to see. There's parts of me that are just fine left over here. But the sentiment is like, what's the best self, the best version of yourself? And how do you tap into that? Okay, so self-awareness, part of creating, managing, change your buzz. Second item, how do you want to be seen? What I mean by that is you should, whatever you're going to get, if it's an interview, if it's a mentor relationship, when you're getting ready to go do something, you should be intentional about it. How do you want to show up? And I don't mean to be fake. And this is this next bullet here, of this next part. How close is what you're trying to show up as, how close is it to the real, authentic you? I don't want people to steer too far away from their authentic self. Okay, they got to tap into that, but you got to be intentional. How do you want to be seen by the people you're going to be in front of? Number three, I said this a little bit earlier, know your audience. What is it they need? What's important to them? What do they care about? And how might you flex your style to meet them where they are? You can't expect them to meet you where you are. What you have control over is meeting them where they are, or at least trying to. Fourth bullet on here. We pay people when they come to PepsiCo. We want their point of view. We want them to share their ideas. Sometimes people share a little too much and maybe too often. I think there's a balance of talking and listening. It's when people do too much listening, we don't know what they're thinking. That's not good either. It has to be a balance. Am I doing the right level of talking? Am I engaging? Do people know what my ideas are? Do they have a sense of my point of view? Don't wait till the last minute. Get out there early, okay? But let others get their airtime as well. Last item on here, I know I'm watching my time. Everybody should have an elevator speech. You know, in our world, when we're in the hallways and we're going through the cafeteria and you bump into somebody, a line that typically gets asked is, hey, good to see you. What are you working on? You got 20 seconds when somebody asks you that question. How are you going to answer it? What are you going to say when you got 20 seconds to capture somebody's attention or imagination, and then you go, just having some lunch? I'm like, what are you going to say if you got 20 seconds with the CEO of a major company? What are you going to say? So have that elevator speech. Okay, I think I'm teeing up for the what y'all do next, this last slide here. Just some things to think about as you take away from my 15 minutes with you. If you got a little extra time later today, be thinking about the adjectives that describe you. You know, if you stop and thought about how you would describe yourself and you shared that with a partner, you shared that with a friend who knows you very well, would they agree with you? How would you answer the question, what are you working on? If there were a couple of things you could do starting tomorrow that might impact, maintain, or even create buzz. You know, sometimes buzzes, they don't have any buzz. So how would you create buzz? What are 2 things you could start doing tomorrow? And then how do you leverage that network to maintain, build, or shape your buzz? Hey, I appreciate the time today. I feel honored to be a part of it, to step up into it. So thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your session. April, thank you much for the invite.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Can we show Jeff some love in the chat? Thank you, April. I'm so inspired and super grateful for the time together and all of the wisdom that you shared. I feel like there were just so many gems, and I had my phone and was trying to take pictures of the slides. So I know our team is going to work to put a resource document to share back out about today, because there was so much that you shared, and it's really clear you are an incredible leader and just a great role model for the rest of us. So again, can we give Jeff some thank yous in the chat, show him some love? Amazing. All right, so I'm going to turn things over in this moment to my colleague, Sophia.
Yeah, thank you, Hollis, and thank you, Jeff and April and everybody that's here today. So I have a question. How do you show up as your best self for an interview? Do you show up dressing for success, putting a cute outfit on, you know, dress up to feel up, communicating effectively, arriving 15 minutes early, hint, hint. Or are you like me and having a dance party as you're getting ready? So you are in the best mood that you possibly can be, and you can showcase the best version of yourself. I think all of these are great ways to showcase the best version of yourself, and they're multiple choice. You don't have to pick just one. But looks like communicating effectively is like pulling ahead. Yeah, totally. And that takes a lot of courage and bravery. So props to everybody. And cool. Yeah, communicating effectively. I'm a little surprised not as many people are having dance party with me. Like, we just need to put some Dua Lipa on and shake it out before all the nerves, all the stress. I highly recommend it. Maybe that's what we're going to start doing. Thanks, Kathleen. Yes, you and I.
I might get carried away and then run late to the interview, you know? Strong, Sophia.
Yeah, no, fair. Good point. Good point. Definitely got to get there 15 minutes early. So awesome. We are going to jump into our breakout activity. So we're going to be in breakout rooms and putting together our elevator pitch, which is really exciting. Jeff told us how important it is to have a 20-second pitch about what you're working on and what you're doing. So we're going to put that together. First, get to know each other a little bit, and then jump into that. So Morgan, are we set for the breakout rooms?
We are all set. So you all should receive a pop-up in just a second to join your breakout room. So feel free to accept that, and you will be with a Step Up staff member and one of our awesome PepsiCo employees who will be leading your breakout today. So I am going to go ahead and open the rooms now.
Awesome. Thank you, Morgan. Have so much fun. See you on the other side. Hi, welcome back. How was that for everyone? Good. See some nods. Can I get thumbs up? Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Awesome. Thumbs up, heart. Nice. Thank you, Myra. Thank you, Linda. Yay. And Melanie too. Awesome. Well, I also had a blast, and that was a great activity. And there was so much great feedback going on in my breakout room. I'd love to invite some people to share their elevator pitches. So if there's any young adults on the call that feel like they have workshopped something and want to share it with us, I know we all would love to hear it. So I'm going to open the floor. You can just unmute yourself and start sharing. But I'm also looking at Nicole. So
yeah, so for me, I imagine being in an elevator with Elizabeth Warren, because I just felt a connection with her because she was a law professor, and I'm also interested in studying law as well. So my ask was to ask her if she had any entry-level positions that would teach me how policies work, how to research them, and how I can learn more how policies impact my community. And something that the mentors from the breakout helped me is that in the end, even though if there isn't any entry-level positions at that time, make sure that you can make a connection, say, well, if you ever have a project about this sort of policy or anything, I would love to connect even after that. So to value the connection and to make it, and to know that I value the connection.
love it. So awesome. Thank you so much, Nicole. And great work and great vision. Way to put yourself in the place of knowing exactly what you want, who you're asking for. I love that. Thank you so much. Anybody else want to share? Tell us about their elevator pitch. Ariel's biting her nails, waiting in anticipation. And Margot, what about you?
Well, I can, one really good piece of advice that I got from our session was really sharing some kind of impact that you could make. So talking about not only the job that you do right now, but then what the impact is of the work that you do. So kind of like the bigger picture, and then what impact you could then bring to the job that you're, going after, or anything like that. So that I thought was great advice. Definitely something I'm going to use.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing with all of us. Yeah, you're pretty impactful every day, and definitely want to have that be the takeaway. Thank you so much. I think that's all we have time for share outs now. And I know Amanda H wants to tell us about some upcoming events where you can mentor and be mentored. Thank you. This was so much fun. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have some really exciting events coming up. This Thursday, May 6th, we have Career Steps in Hospitality with Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits. Some of the alums might have seen this event in October we did. So this is a program that'll be open to teens. If you know any teens who are interested in this, please spread the word. It's going to be a great event. Last one we did was for alums. And then our summer series is almost about to start, and the summer series events are available to anyone in the Step Up community, and they're partnerships with some really cool organizations. So the first one coming up is a stretch session with Revolve Active, bright and early Pacific time on May 19th. And then we have a few more coming up. So Al just posted a link to those events in the chat, and you can take a look at our calendar to see the other summer series events that are coming in the next few months.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that, Amanda. Everybody, it's a wrap. That was an amazing time. I'm so grateful for the team at PepsiCo, April and Jeff, all that he shared, that awesome presentation. I know I got so many gems in my breakout groups. And so, Amarco, I really appreciate you sharing that takeaway that was shared by Jeannie about not just saying your role, like what you do day to day, but really the impact. I think that's something that we can all walk away with. And just want to encourage everybody on the call, if there's a teen in your life, to please have them join us on Thursday for our program with Southern Glazers. Hospitality is a wonderful industry to get into, and we want to expose them. And so we'll see you next time. We thank you. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our team. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let me give myself a hand. Let me give myself a hand. Tell myself get up and dance. I'm on my feet. I love all of me. Let me give myself a hand. I want it. I'll treat myself. I want it. I'll treat myself. Treat me right. Amen. Ooh, I try my best to never have a sleepless night. I fight for me, and honestly, I deserve some credit.